listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation.
Hello and welcome to another tutorial from IELTSPodcast.com. Before I start, a few words about myself. It's Rob. My name's Rob. I'm an ex-IELTS examiner and I've been teaching English for quite a few years now, teaching all kinds of levels, including IELTS. And, well, I'm here to do my best to help you to make sure you get that high band score you're looking for when you take the IELTS test. Okay, so today our tutorial is all about speaking. Speaking part 3. The most interesting part, most challenging part of the speaking test, I think, when you're really talking to the examiner about the topic that you've been talking about in part 2 for a couple of minutes. No, today we're going to concentrate on a topic and think of possible questions related to that topic. The topic is modern technology. Now that kind of topic is quite likely to come up in the exam, don't you think? And what we'll be looking at today is covering some possible questions, and before that looking at possible grammatical tips that we could make good use of for our speaking test, some useful vocabulary, as well as, of course, some sample answers. Okay, let's start off with the grammar, shall we? The grammar point we're going to cover is this. Articles. An, the, or possibly nothing at all. Let's go over some of the rules and regulations in English but through examples. No, it's better to look at examples, I think, here. No, I've got 5 of them for you, all concerning the topic of modern technology. Let's have a look at each one. Number 1. The internet has revolutionized communications. I shall repeat that. The internet has revolutionized communication. Yes, because why the with the internet? Because it's unique, it's one of a kind. If we're thinking of one example of something, we were going to say the. Next example. A smartphone is a common device in today's society. Well, there are probably millions of smartphones all over the place. No, I've got one, you've got one, we've all got one. No, this is just one of many. It's not unique. A smartphone. Compare that to the internet. The same thing if we're talking about iPad. But of course there we've got to worry about the sound at the beginning of iPad. So we need an. Listen to the example. An iPad offers versatility and convenience. So sometimes it's usually it's and occasionally, according to the sound at the beginning of the word we're talking about, the noun, we will use an. Let's go back to another example with the. The rise of social media has transformed how we interact. There, of course, we have to use the because we're talking about, again, something unique. We're talking about a particular subject, not one of many. The rise of social media. And finally, another example with the development of artificial intelligence is advancing rapidly. The development of artificial intelligence is advancing rapidly. Once again, an example where we're talking about one particular case, so we would have to use what we call the definite article. Okay, now obviously when we're preparing for the IELTS test, particularly if we're speaking and also of course writing, or any part, if you really think about it, reading and listening to, we're worried and we're concerned about acquiring, using as much useful vocabulary as possible, understanding it, using it actively in writing and of course in speaking. Let's think of some arguments first in favor and against, before we look at that vocabulary, this particular topic of modern technology. What's in favor? Of course, we know that modern technology improves all kinds of things. Another verb instead of improve is to enhance. So it enhances communication. We can talk about enhanced communication. We can also think about the things it increases. It increases efficiency. if we think of that verb as well, using it as an adjective, we can refer to increased efficiency. It opens doors, doesn't it? Technology, the internet, our smartphones, etc. So we can talk about access, those things that opens doors for us. It gives us access to information. It also, of course, if we think of some general nouns associated with technology, we often talk about innovation, creativity, and connectivity. We are all connected these days, and they talk about, global connectivity, connectivity across borders. These are some of the key words which I'm sure you're probably familiar with. I mean, modern technology is a subject that most of us, whether we like it or not, most of us do like it, some people don't like it at all, but we're all touched by it. We are all affected by it. So a lot of this vocabulary probably is pretty familiar, not only, of course, for access to information, which will help education, accessibility in education, but also, of course, in entertainment. We know that we watch films and series and get our documentaries, all kinds of options we get through whatever medium we're using, the phone, the laptop, even smart TVs, all connected, all interconnected with, of course, the internet and so on. So we've got entertainment options. And naturally enough, in the world we're living in these days, how many jobs are created through these kinds of innovative technological advances? So we're thinking of job creation. What about against it? We can't always be in favor of everything, so let's think of arguments against modern technology. Well, we become dependent on it, don't we? We are absolutely obsessed with being connected 24/7, and therefore there's a kind of dependency on devices, as well as, of course, as very, very serious issues concerning privacy. I know in the United States they'll call that privacy. It doesn't really matter how you pronounce it. This is an international exam. I'm British, so I'm going to say privacy. An American speaker would probably pronounce that in a different way. It doesn't matter. It's not important. There's no one right or wrong way to do that, no? But a lot of people are concerned with privacy. How private is your connection? Can anybody hack into your email or whatever it might be? Of course, the problem with being connected 24/7 is that some of us become distracted, or even, they say, addicted to the internet. So we're talking about distraction, addiction, and going back to the hacking, security threats. How safe is my connection? Other people think about the psychological impact of being connected online all the time. We become isolated, socially isolated. Whatever happened to face-to-face communication? It's all online these days, some people argue. It's not exactly true, is it? We still have face-to-face contact with people, but it's certainly true that a lot of us even work through online connections these days. We don't go out to work. A lot of people say that anyway. So we've got these, problems of security, social, psychological isolation, as well maybe as the environmental impact. I mean, how much of our carbon footprint is being used, through using or being connected through the internet, these connectivity issues. So, what about employment? Yes, some people may benefit from being connected online and getting jobs through it, or maybe working in programming or something to do with the internet. Other people no. So we think of these side effects of unemployment, technological unemployment. You've got to be, up to date with the latest things in the area. If not, you may not be able to find a job. Let's move on. we're thinking about vocabulary, we're thinking, of course, about particular kind of phrases or collocations, these words that often go together on a particular topic. So let's think of some of them. Some of them are worth knowing, using, practicing, and being familiar and confident with. We can talk about, for example, the digital revolution, smart devices, online connectivity. Am I talking about things you're familiar with? Of course I am. How about this one? Virtual reality. That's another topic that a lot of people, particularly people into certain types of movies and certain types of games online, I suppose, are very interested in. We also get worried about data privacy or data privacy concerns. And what about you? Are you tech savvy? Are you a person, an individual who knows a lot about the technology? Or are you a person like me who knows a little bit but not enough? So, are you tech savvy, or are you a kind of an internet or tech nerd? I don't know. So, internet access, as well, of course, as other worries that we may have about security, cyber security. That word cyber, I don't think we use it as much as we used to, but I mean, it's still used, isn't it? Cyber security measures or issues and stuff like that. Let's think of some possible model sentences we could use now, using those phrases, and also coming back to our grammar points. Remember the use of the, and an. For example, the digital revolution has transformed various industries. The digital revolution has transformed various industries. A smartphone is now considered an essential tool for communication. Of course it is. Everybody has one, no? Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. An online presence is crucial for businesses to thrive. Thrive? To succeed, to be successful. No? An online presence. We all need an online presence. A website, at least an email. The rise of social media has led to changes in consumer behavior. The rise of social media has led to changes in consumer behavior. The development of artificial intelligence is shaping the future of technology. The digital revolution has transformed various industries. Lots of examples with the. No, not surprising, because we're talking about particular things. We're not talking about one example of many, as we have in the next one. A smartphone is now considered an essential tool for communication. So that's an essential difference, isn't it? I mean, if we're using a or an, we're saying this is an example of one of many, many, many. But if we're saying we're saying this is particular, this is special. I'm talking about a particular topic. And then one final example. An online presence is crucial for businesses. I might have done that one before. What am I talking about? I'm sorry, I repeated that. It was this one. The rise of social media has led to changes in consumer behavior. The rise of social media has led to changes in consumer behavior. Let me pause there for a moment before we get into these questions we're going to look at in part 3. Because remember what the idea of this tutorial is. Obviously to help you. No, I mean, I'm here to do my best to help you, to give you some tips to see how you're getting on. I mean, but remember what you can do to help yourself. I mean, most smart IELTS students these days are getting into this AI essay checker, which is available on IELTSPodcast.com, All you got to do is sign up, and you can send in your essays, and they are checked in record time. If I say 48 hours, I could be wrong. Maybe it's less than that. Probably is a day now. I don't remember. I'd have to check that out. You get the instant feedback, the feedback that you're looking for, the kind of stuff that will point out your mistakes and tell you what you're doing wrong, and also, of course, give you a pat on the back, encourage you to say, yeah, you're doing that right, but if you want to push your score up by another band grade from a 6 to a 7, a 7 to an 8, or whatever, this is what you should be doing. Also, if you get into the IELTS, the AISA checker, excuse me, you'll also be getting into IELTSPodcast.com website and seeing all the other things they offer there. A lot of it is just there for free, of course. Other things, you just look at them and find out all the different materials there are for the different parts of the IELTS test. Let's go back to our topic, modern technology. Let's think about these part 3 speaking questions. Possible ones. Okay. Why do you think technology is important in today's world? That's a very general question, isn't it? Why do you think technology is important in today's world? Possible answer. Well, to be honest, technology plays a pivotal role in shaping our daily lives. It enhances communication, streamlines processes, and fosters innovation in various sectors. For instance, the internet has revolutionized how we access information and connect with others. Okay, so we've got some vocabulary there we've seen before, and notice how it fits into that question. And a lot of big words there, no? I mean, this is just a model example. We can't use big words all the time, but look at those 3 big verbs. Enhances communication. Instead of saying it improves it. Streamlines processes. If you streamline something, you make it simpler. So instead of saying making processes simpler or easy to handle, streamlines them. And fosters innovation. To foster means to allow something to grow, to give it life, to help it get bigger. To foster. These words are used in different contexts, but take a note of them. When you're listening to this and when you're checking this out, maybe on the website to see the script, I mean, have a think about that. Foster, streamline, enhances. Do you feel comfortable using them? That's the point, isn't it? A lot of big words, we think, yeah, it's a nice word. Can I use it in a context? Try it out. Another question. Should governments invest more in technological research? Oh, big question. The answer, well, I'm not an expert on this topic, but I believe that investing in technology research is crucial for advancement in society. Government should allocate resources to foster innovation and address challenges. For example, funding research in renewable energy could lead to sustainable solutions for environmental issues. Oh, another big answer, isn't it? We've got foster again. We've got allocate. You don't actually give money to people or to different areas. You allocate it. To allocate something means to, to divide it up and give it in different proportions or portions to different areas. Another one. How do you think technology will impact education in the future? Well, these questions about the future in IELTS Speaking Part 3 are pretty important as well. We're often getting, your predictions about what will happen. Well, I don't know. As far as I know, technology will revolutionize education by making it more accessible and interactive. I mean, with advancements in things like virtual reality and online teaching, online learning platforms. I mean, students can, I suppose, engage with educational content in different ways that are very innovative, And as well as that, technology enables personalized learning experiences, tailored to individual needs. Again, a lot of interesting vocabulary there to pay attention to, I think. Not only just the obvious thing, revolutionize education, making it more accessible, interactive. Online learning platforms. Again, those collocations, those groups of words that go together and we use them in a lot of contexts, particularly in special contexts like this. Online learning platforms. And students can engage with the content, so we're not just interacting, we're engaging with synonyms. I mean, the use of synonyms and different expressions that more or less express the same feelings, the same ideas in IELTS speaking and also in writing is very, very, very vital for us all. It will really score high with the examiner if he knows or she knows that you're using a variety of vocabulary to express your thoughts. So engage with instead of just interact with. Let's do one more question. Compare the role of technology in the past with its role in the future. Well, I don't know, really. I've never thought about that before very much, but I guess you could say that technology has evolved significantly over time, and in the past it was limited to basic tools and machinery, whereas in the future we can expect advancements like artificial intelligence and biotechnology to redefine how we live and work. So again, we've got some stuff there which is very familiar to us. This huge topic, which probably is the topic of this year and last year, everybody's talking about AI. I mentioned it before, AI, essay checker, artificial intelligence. Is that a bonus for us? Does it present any dangers? Oh, well, it's a complex issue, isn't it? We can't say. We know that it's going to advance. A lot of people are frightened of it. Other people are welcoming it and saying, wow, this is the future. So it's a complex issue which, if you're interested in it, of course you will also have your opinions, which will be based on your knowledge, your interests, and all kinds of different things. Do we have time for one more question? I don't know. Well, I suppose we could do. How about this one? Is modern technology widely adopted in your country? I mean, very often an examiner will ask you a question about your country. Here's a classic answer. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, modern technology is prevalent in my country. It's all over the place. I mean, people rely on smartphones, computers, and other devices for communication, entertainment, and work. I mean, of course, there are a lot of people who are worried about, very concerned about the fact that we're becoming dependent on it and the impact on society. But no, it's all over the place, of course. Okay, we'd be very pleased. We'd love to hear what you think of these tutorials. I mean, just send in your opinions. I mean, I don't know how you're listening to this. It's Spotify or some other media that you're on, but please share your thoughts with other people. It's all free to do that, isn't it? I mean, just give us positive reviews or give us constructive criticism. We'd be pleased to hear it. Share your views. Get friends to also join in and listen to these tutorials. And don't forget to sign up to the essay checker. I'll be talking to you again, I'm sure, in the near future. In the meantime, keep going, keep studying, and enjoy yourselves. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.